Tonight, this wave of anti-abortion laws sparking over 500 protests across the country, organized flooding state houses, courthouses, city streets. You're looking at it. This is all happening now, and it's trying to both stop the passage of abortion legislation in a range of states.
Fight this, and let the legislators know that we will not stand for this.
The choice of when and whether to have a family is deeply personal. It is not a decision that any politician should insert themselves into. This is my body. This is my right.
Protests breaking out after Alabama passed a law to ban nearly all types of abortions in the entire state, including potential jail time for doctors who perform the procedure. 8 states have passed these types of restrictive laws just this year alone. Many say it is an effort to get Roe v. Wade overturned immediately by a Trump-altered Supreme Court. Now, Georgia is one of the states making it now illegal to receive an abortion once a heartbeat is detected. Now, for an exclusive tonight, I am joined by DeKalb County District Attorney Sherry Boston, who is vowing not to prosecute anyone involved with abortions despite this new law in Georgia. Good evening. Thanks for joining me about this.
Thanks, Ari, for having me.
Your obligation is to enforce the laws. Explain to us why you're taking this position and also why you maintain that your view would be itself lawful.
Well, I took an oath as district attorney to uphold the law, and that's both state law and federal law. And right now, the Supreme Court under Roe versus Wade has decided that we have a fundamental right to privacy. And so as a district attorney, I believe it's my obligation to make sure that I do not enforce a law in Georgia that I believe is unconstitutional under the United States Supreme Court.
Does that mean that your potential goal would be to create a sort of a potential legal safe haven in your jurisdiction in contrast to the rest of the state for this procedure?
Well, obviously, I'm only the district attorney in DeKalb County, so I can only speak for my jurisdiction. But I want to continue to protect the citizens of DeKalb County, and I believe that enforcing this law and ultimately prosecuting women, mothers, doctors, nurses, or anyone that aids in an abortion, I believe that the laws passed in Georgia is unconstitutional and very ambiguous, and that I have an obligation to protect the citizens of my community.
I want to ask you a parsing question, but I think it matters to people's lives, and I think our viewers will be interested in it, so forgive me in advance. But legally, are you taking the position then that unless and until the Supreme Court clearly upholds this new law, you won't enforce it? Or are you taking the position that even if the Supreme Court ultimately blessed this law, you would decline to use your prosecutorial power to ever enforce it?
Well, I will say this. As prosecutors, we have discretion to make decisions about the laws that we prosecute. For example, in Georgia, it's still against the law to commit adultery. And I'm certainly not spending my time prosecuting people for adultery. I believe that my community has spoken, and I believe that there are many crimes in my community that stand far and more important than what's happening, honestly, in the bedrooms of DeKalb County residents. As a woman and a mother, I have grave concerns about this type of law here in Georgia and everywhere.
It's very interesting what you're laying out. I guess my final question, I'm curious, are you hearing reaction from this, either pressure in government or public reaction?
I've heard a lot of reaction from my community. I've gotten emails and phone calls and tweets, and I can tell you overwhelmingly what I'm hearing from the women and men in my community is thank you for standing up, for speaking, for being a voice, and for ultimately saying that I have no intent of putting people in jail and saddling them with felony convictions for seeking a medical procedure and choosing really how they want their families to be.
District Attorney Sherry Boston, very interesting. Thank you for explaining your thinking to us tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.